Legend at Holiday World is revered for its laterals, and rightfully so. This is one of the best coasters in the world for laterals. However, this coaster has so much more to offer. This wood coaster excels in many different areas from setting to pacing. But just how great is this wood coaster? Find out in this review. Custom Coasters International and Holiday World paired up in 1995 to build Raven, a short but powerful wood coaster through the woods. This coaster had some strong airtime pops in the first half and strong laterals in the second half. This coaster was wildly successful and even claimed the Golden Ticket Award for the best wood coaster a few times, so it's no surprise that Holiday World returned to CCI for their next major coaster. After the initial layout was devised, Holiday World's owners shared the plans with coaster enthusiasts requesting feedback on the elements and theme. For the 2000 season, Holiday World opened Legend for a surprisingly low cost of just $3 million. While Legend has been thrilling guests at this Indiana theme park for over 2 decades, the coaster has undergone 3 major changes. First, the Gerstlauer train was replaced by PTC trains for the 2002 season. While there hasn't been an official statement why from the park, there have been a few rumors it was related to guest comfort, CCI and PTC not working together, and/or the park's desire to standardize their wood coaster trains across the park. But whatever the reason, those who rode Legend in its first 2 years said the coaster tracked well, but the heavy laterals were somewhat uncomfortable due to the lap bar and seat design of the Gerstlauers. Second, Legend was upgraded to run 2 trains to boost the ride's capacity. A transfer track was added on the approach to the lift hill. Legend also included a longer straight section out of the station originally, but the load platform was moved forwards to use this section to provide more buffer between a train fully stopped in the brakes and the train in the station. This also necessitated the extension of the ride station. Third, the finale was modified. Before the 2016 season, you navigated a single hill that turned left after the double helix. From the 2016 season onwards, the descent was turned into a double down. This was in addition to frequent track work over the years to keep the coaster running in tip-top shape. Legend has an aggressive layout between its length and lateral forces. I have no doubt this attraction will be rough at most parks, but runs fairly smoothly under the care of Holiday World. Placed in the Halloween section of the park, this coaster was loosely themed to the legend of Sleepy Hollow. Guests mimic the ride of Ichabod Crane as he fled from the Headless Horseman through the woods. There is no theming along the course. The only bit of theming is the ride's cool-looking logo and the station building. The latter is themed to look like a schoolhouse, and every time a train dispatches, crew members manually pull a bell. So if you're anywhere near the attraction, you'll know when a train has been sent out. Legend is an elusive ride. Very little of the coaster is visible from within the amusement park. From the midway, you can only see the ride's 99-foot or 30-meter tall lift hill, which honestly looks considerably taller than that. From the queue line, you can see the coaster's final few turns to build anticipation. From the water park, you can see the coaster's outward leg as it dives over and under water slides, creating some awesome near misses. The rest of the ride, including Legend's famous double helix, takes place deep within the woods. I love this coaster setting. It is one of the ride's biggest strengths. Despite how Legend can run 2 trains, I find it runs just one most days. This is fine on most weekdays, but it can have a slow-moving line on busy weekends if it's running just one train. The longest I've waited for this coaster was about 30 to 45 minutes on a holiday weekend with just one train. The dispatch speeds are fine. There just isn't much the crew can do with just one train and a lengthy coaster like this. Each train seats 24 riders across 6 cars. These are 2-bench PTC trains. They have the usual individual seatbelt and ratcheting lap bar combination. These restraints are fine. They can come down further during the ride's valleys, so I would advise holding on to the restraint once checked. Legend Station is quite narrow, but I recommend fighting through the crowds to wait for the front. Once you get past everyone, you usually have to wait just an extra train or 2 for row 1. This is my favorite seat on Legend for the added smoothness and sense of speed. Once dispatched, you roll past the transfer track, turn right, and ascend the ride's lift hill. I still cannot believe this lift is officially under 100 feet tall. At the top, you slowly navigate a turn past a bazillion flags, and then you cruise down the ride's 113-foot or 34-meter tall first drop. Unlike most CCI drops that give some nice airtime, this one is free of negative Gs. However, it starts banking left at the bottom, so it applies some strong laterals. These laterals continue as you zoom through a tunnel and twist upwards into the second hill. This is an elongated hill giving a plethora of laterals. At the top of the hill, you start banking right so you'll get slammed to the other side of the train. Then when you pull out from this hill, you again twist left so you're subjected to another dose of strong laterals, again in the opposite direction, with some faint positive G's as well. Legend treats your body like a rag doll, and I love it. And these lateral forces also occur while you're narrowly dodging water slides and roller coaster supports at the same time for some fun head choppers. You then ascend a turnaround at the far end of Splash and Safari. You get a weak pop of airtime up front, but the laterals on the descent are the star yet again. You are pinned to the left side of the train as you twist downwards. The subsequent valley was quite bumpy in the back in 2021. It was easily the roughest spot in the entire ride. So, knowing Holiday World's maintenance team, this section was probably retracked going into 2022. Next is Legend's best airtime hill by far. You have this sizable bunny hill, and you haul over this element, and you get some incredible sustained airtime. It's strong floater up front, but those in the back get something closer to weak ejector. And this all takes place as some more head choppers. You then climb up a giant camelback. You lose quite a bit of speed, so those up front only get meekly popped out of their seat. But those in the back get some good floater airtime on the sizable drop that follows. This drop also heads into yet another tunnel, one of 5 on the ride. You then navigate an extended S-bend towards the double helix. This section applies very strong laterals. The first half in the tunnel slams you to the left, the second half outdoors throws you to the right. Now it's time for Legend's signature element, the double helix. This is one of the best elements in the world for laterals. You turn clockwise, dipping downwards and upwards through 2 tunnels. But the ride never lets up on those lats. You are pinned to the left side of the train for roughly 15 straight seconds. You can try fighting the forces, but resistance is futile. These are some of the strongest and most unrelenting laterals on any ride. This leads into the double down, which also twists 90 degrees during the element. It's one of the few turns in the ride without any laterals. The first hump also offers no airtime, but the second offers a weak pop for those in the back. Legend then returns to giving laterals as it turns towards the flume. You then quickly dip beneath the lift hill of Frightful Falls, getting another mild bit of airtime in the back. You then shoot upwards into an L-turn that forcefully blasts front row riders out of their seat. The airtime is much weaker towards the back, but the hill is so sharp that you'll still come out of your seat. You then quickly turn left, getting more laterals, which is extra sweet up front because the lats kick in while you're still lifted up in the air. You then dip downwards, again getting a small bit of airtime in the back. You then shoot upwards into the final turn. This ride's like the entry into the prior turn from an airtime perspective, popping everyone out of their seat, but especially those up front. You then zoom around one last turn with another dose of strong sustained laterals before hitting the final brake run, which ends the 4,042 foot or 1,232 meter long coaster. Along with the individual elements being quite strong, Legend has great pacing in general. The ride feels far faster than its posted 59 mph or 95 km/h top speed, and it keeps riders engaged start to finish with the abundance of laterals and wonderful setting. Like all the coasters at Holiday World, Legend is a fantastic night ride. There's almost no light on the course because the water park closes before sunset, and the rest of the ride takes place in the woods. The best time of year for night rides is Halloween nights, especially because the park sometimes runs their water cup challenge during the enthusiast event. Riders are given a cup of water and challenged to return to the station with as much as possible. I somehow came back to the station with a full cup, and before you ask, a magician never reveals their secrets. So what would I rate the Legend? I would give this CCI an 8.5 out of 10. This is a very good wooden roller coaster. This may be one of the best coasters in the world for laterals, if not the best. Pretty much every turn slams you to the side of the train, sometimes for an instant and sometimes far longer. I also love the ride's pacing and location. The biggest downside for Legend compared to the other Elite Wood coasters is the airtime. There are some spots of it, particularly the fourth hill in the finale, but that's not the ride's focus. This may be my least favorite wood coaster at Holiday World, but this is still a borderline top 25 wood coaster for me, and it's an absolute must if you love laterals and a wood coaster that feels out of control. So those are my thoughts on Legend at Holiday World. What are your thoughts on the sprawling wood coaster? Do you think it's the best coaster in the world for lats? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. If you enjoyed this review, I'd appreciate it if you gave this video a like, and you considered subscribing, because there'll be a lot more roller coaster and amusement park videos here at Canopy Coaster. Thanks for watching.